So I had to make a little adjustment in my eating, and it was a big realization for me. And the answer, it's absolutely nuts. Coming up on the Spencer Mark podcast. Hey, sorry about that. Oh, I'm gonna get a lot smoother, baby, on those beginnings and these starts, So I'll get a little smoother with that. I know that's upcoming, but hey, I had to get you together here because I had some realizations here that I just needed to share. These are big blind spots for a lot of guys, and they've been blind spots for me when it comes to my food, it comes to eating and gaining weight versus actually being in shape. And it's taken a lot of courage to look at yourself in the mirror and then try to guess, like, are you gaining a little bit of weight? Like, I'm going to bring attention to that. It's I've fooled myself for a lot of years thinking that no, I'm fine. I look pretty good. I look all right. But the thing is that got me is that I started looking at old videos and old podcasts where I actually was really dialed in and tuned in. I'm like, what was going on? What was I doing back then? So I'm going to share with you what has worked for me in the past in just 5 points here, upcoming here, of what is that I'm going through right now, what really matters when it comes to your food, and especially in my experience here too. And I'm just going to share what works, and I'm going to tell you about how I'm coming through that and what you really need to watch out for. So pay attention. We got some stuff coming up here. So number one here is that right now this is a new environment that I'm in. Okay, I'm gonna switch some stuff up here a little bit. I am in a new place. I am in a new town. I'm in a new hemisphere, for God's sakes. So what's happening with me is that living in Cape Town, South Africa versus Boise, Idaho has some major differences. The food here is much fresher. It's much better for you. It's not as heavily processed. But the thing is, too, besides the food that I've moved here, when I've moved here, besides the food is the social gatherings and all the food that's eaten at social gatherings and what you can get at the grocery store. And the climate here, it's warmer. It's like summer time happening right here, right now. So I'm going to be hungrier for different things and not as hungry for other things. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this environment, and it is causing me to just kind of settle in and get and be a little bit different here. And this point is brought to you by Rooibos tea, the official tea of South Africa. Hot and delicious. When I need liquid and I'm tired of drinking water, I drink Rooibos tea, and it's spelled Rooibos. Anyway, look it up. It's good for you. Puts hair in your chest. See? All right. So we're all products of our environment. Our environments invite different people, different different thought patterns, behaviors, social mores, all those things, and food's a big part of it as well. So most people kind of get caught in this. So with this new country has come new food for me. I've been consistently adhering to a ketogenic diet for metabolic health reasons. If you know me, I've come from 14 years of veganism. I switched over to animal based. It's been great. I find that if I go more animal based and just stick to the proteins that I really enjoy, the weight stays down. Like I stay in a fairly lean, in healthy state of mind and in body. So one thing that I was noticing here too, that the time that I've been here, is that I've not been looking as dialed in. And what's important here is that it's not that I think that I'm fat or I'm out of shape, because I look misaligned. And I have caught myself, I had to have that moment in the mirror and say, what am I really doing? What does my day really look like? What is it that I'm eating now? versus when I was in Boise and really, dialed in. What's my movement pattern like? Okay. What's my sleep like? And stress levels. Okay. Of those four things, when it comes to your metabolism, it's like your food, it's your movement, it's your sleep, and your stress. My sleep's incredible. I sleep like a log throughout the night. I'm even peeing less in the middle of the night too, so the prostate's getting even in better shape. I've since been off prostate pills, just going all natural here, and that's been good. So I'll have other information on how I'm peeing less in the middle of the night as you age. And hey, and it's a thing. The prostate wears out when you get older, but it's getting better. Another thing that's better too is my stress. The stress levels are way lower. I'm next to the ocean. I go out on beach walks most every night with my wife, and Adele and I. We talk. We have a good relationship together. We're working on stuff. It's just I'm able to see stress from a distance and really work on dealing that. I'm letting go of tension. That's really good. The thing that I was really noticing is that this environment has brought on two things in my life: biltong and nuts. Biltong is a delicious dried meat. It's just like jerky back in the States. There's everything is it's very natural. You can get beef biltong. Or it just kind of hangs in a store. There's biltong stores in the mall. You can get biltong in a gas station, at any convenience store, at the grocery store. They have it everywhere, and it's not adulterated with a ton of sugar and all that type of shit. Just regular spices. So that's really nice. But what usually accompanies it are nuts. There are nuts all over the place here too, and at a good price. So I'm eating like macadamias and cashews and all of these types of things. So all these types of things. I think that's just something I say. I'm eating a lot of nuts here too. A lot of eggs. I'm getting back into the ground beef. A lot more fish. One thing that I have to like watch myself of is a lot of pastry. There's pastry everywhere here, dude. Like pastiche de nata, that's been incredible. Like having actual custard, creme brulee, millionaire shortbread, croissants with the incredible layering on that, and then what do they call that? Lamination. Buttery, delicious, huge. I mean, I had a cheesecake as tall as my head, a slice as tall as my head. I had to go for that. I had to go for it. Caramel top on the top. I'm sorry, caramel. What's caramel? Caramel on the top. Perfect crust. Lemon meringue pie. This is just here in our local little village, and they have pastry everywhere for cheap. It's hard, and I'm trying to limit that to 1 day a week, but hadn't quite accomplished 1 day a week through the holidays. Hey, it's New Year's. Hey, it's Christmas. Let's mince pies all the way home. Getting a little off track, but the thing is, this new environment here, there's great things to eat. So I got to watch myself because the novelty of trying new stuff is starting to wear off, and I'm starting to see that on my body. So let's see here. I'm going to go into this next piece. Let's see. Did that show up? I can't quite see. Okay. Yeah. So the point two. So this lie I want to talk about. Oh, I haven't changed much. Everything's good. I'm all right. I'm all right. I can see a vein here. I think that's all right. Trust yourself. If you feel something is off, look at everything. Okay, look at everything. And my saving grace here is that I have something from my past that I can reference. I have a journal that I've kept. I tracked for a year. I tracked my food, had a really good understanding. I kept my food really simple. So I told you the four things of my metabolism of the food, the exercise, the sleep, and the stress. The sleep and the stress is good. I was relooking my food. I'll get into that in a bit. My exercise was much lower. I lived in the Boise foothills with Adele. We went out all the time for walks. It's so easy to get out for a walk. Here where I'm at, I'm in a kind of this neighborhood area where I just don't take as many steps. I don't have the foothills available to, and I live next to some different townships that are kind of some seedy areas, and the mountains are here, but I have yet to really get into the trails. We take beach walks from time to time, but I've been tracking on my watch and I'd noticed myself not taking as many steps as what I did. So I've been upping that game. I've been going out for morning runs fasted. So that's been helping very much. But again, getting back to this lie that I haven't changed much, this takes a lot of courage. I've really had to look at myself in the mirror and say, look, okay, you're not a failure. We just need to re-aim. Okay. Cause I've still been training. I've been going to the gym 5 days a week instead of 4. I really enjoy the training here where I go to the Virgin Active. It's an incredible gym. I found a 5-day split that really works for me. I do push, and then I do pull, and then I do legs on Wednesday, and then I do more of an athletic push and an athletic pull on Thursday, Friday, take the weekends off. So that's typically what I do. And I still do a little bit of yoga in the morning, 15 to 20 minutes every morning to stay limber. But I still think that the food was starting to creep up. I didn't look as dialed in. Now, again, here in Cape Town, nuts and biltong are everywhere. The nuts that I've been going for, and they have a big jug of them. This is bad for my inner fat boy. Is that there's this big giant jug of nuts, of macadamias, cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts, peanuts. They're super salty, no hydrogenated oils on them. They're really salty. It's so easy. It's delicious. I can just grab a handful and just take my time with them or chew them. But dude, the truth is that I can't get full on nuts. I'm addicted. Has anyone here like addicted to that salt, especially if you're on a lower carbohydrate diet, you really need that salt intake. And I'm getting it through the nuts. It's crazy nuts how much nuts I'm eating. I had to actually look it up on my tracker, and I finally I had to get curious and courageous and look at how many calories, grams of fat, are in 1 cup of mixed nuts. I looked it up, and for the nuts that I'm eating is 900 calories, give or take a few calories. I'm eating at least that a day in 1 cup, because I go a handful like towards the morning, and then the midday, and then maybe a little bit at night, at least a cup. There are probably some days I'm eating more. So let's just do the math. If I'm having that as a snack every day, let's get real here. 7 days, 6,000 calories. 6,000 calories extra on top of everything that I'm eating for my protein, and the rest of my food. Even with a cheat day, like on Sundays, I hate saying cheat day, but I just take off a day on Sundays. 6,000 nut calories. Let that sink in. No shame, just math. Okay, that's a lot happening here. And this goes into this next point that I gotta let you know, man, is that calories still matter, especially with fat. Now, take it from me, just a regular old schmo that's been in nutrition for a long time, has weathered the ups and the downs and the yo-yo dieting storm my entire life. I had to pay attention. I wasn't going to wait until I have a belly again before I needed to do something. I needed to do something now. I need to understand how much energy I'm taking out versus what I'm expending. I am older. Look at the hair, the glasses. I am older. I don't need as many calories as what I once did. Okay. I'm sitting down at this podcast. I'm not standing up and running at the same time. I am not as active as I like to think that I am. I do not require 6,000 calories a week in nuts alone. Okay. I acknowledge the keto crowd. I appreciate you. I think a lot of the keto verbiage is built towards helping people beat like morbid obesity, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and those things. And it's important. I appreciate keto in that respect. I just can't eat that much fat and stay at a level to where I'm satisfied with myself. Okay. If you got a lot of weight to lose, jump on the keto train, but 70% of your calories coming from fat, that's a lot. That's a lot of fat for me. And I notice myself getting sick if I eat that many calories in fat, and I can overeat fat, man. Can you relate? Can anyone relate about eating that much fat? I mean, I could plow through nuts like nobody's business. The thing is, I don't the cheese as well, like charcuterie boards. I could devour me a charcuterie board, man. They're so easy to take to the beach. We're talking salami, prosciutto, all the nuts, all the different cheeses, the camembert, the Parmesan. I'm not a huge cheese person, but the brie and the figs. Ooh, the figs are sugar, but yeah. The thing is that I was trying to pull back with so much on sugar that I was thinking, okay, if I can't have sugar, I'm going to overdo it on fattier meats. And yeah, my glucose is not rising, my insulin is lower. But the thing is, my brother, I can't be eating 6,000 calories a day, 5,000, 4,000 calories a day because I'm not using that much energy. That adds up over time. Look, I don't know. There's no scientist that's going to be listening to this podcast. If there is, all right, let's team up, and maybe you can tell me what's what here. But from what I've understood, from what I've studied, there's a lot of good, well-meaning people out there that are saying that calories don't matter. Calories, in my respect, homie, it matters. It matters. Now, you can't be all or nothing. Like you shouldn't pay so close to attention to calories to where you're falling off and you're overeating things. There needs to be some give and take. Are you feeling like different macronutrients? Lean into different macronutrients. Find what really works for you. For me, I rely more on leaner proteins. I fill up on protein. That's 4 calories per gram versus over double that in fat, which is over 9 calories per gram. It doesn't matter. Like I could eat fat as if it's a protein, but I get fuller on more just lean protein sources. Okay. So I don't care what diet tribe you're in. If you overfeed, if you overeat fat like I do, eat more protein, eat more into the lean proteins. Calories, again, they're not evil. They're just information. And the thing is here too, I don't really need less food. I just really need more awareness. So that's what this is about. I'm eating too many damn nuts because I need the salt. So I'm going to lean more into biltong, which is a kudu biltong, which is this is a venison based biltong. So it's low fat, high protein, but it still has some good salt, some good spices in there. So it really scratches that itch for me. So that's how I'm going to overcome it. All right. So this fourth point, tracking. It's not punishment, man. It's really realignment. And when I talk about this marksman movement, when you really want to be a marksman, it's about choosing your aim intelligently and aligning yourself. Now, this is just, let's reframe it like this. I'm not gonna go back to tracking because I failed. I'm just going back to tracking for a while because I've slowly drifted off course. I'm gonna go back to tracking. I use Chronometer. I use another one through the Twin Health app I still got from my ex job. And it works pretty good. But I'm keeping my diet very simple. I do ground beef in the morning along with avocado, 4 eggs. I use a nonstick pan so I don't have to fry in butter anymore. I'm just going leaner that way. I love eggs and I love ground beef together. It's so good. For me, it's just so good. With some spinach and the avocado. And I do pickled jalapenos and regular pickles on top of it right now. And that's really about it. And that is it just does it for me, man. And I mix that all up and I eat that down. It's like this, it's the best. And ground beef has been proven to be very good for you because of all the ground collagen inside of that too, and the vast amino acid profile in there too. It's already ground down, so your body it's more easily digestible. Not to mention, it's much cheaper. It's cost efficient. I'm telling you, ground beef, it's the shit. And I won't give you the shits. So basically, getting back to that tracking, that's what I do. I'm bringing this all up because the simpler you can make your food, the easier it's going to be to track. You're not have to add so many different ingredients. I used to eat in a way that was just so many ingredients, and when I was tracking, God, it was just a pain in the ass. So just 3 or 4 things for breakfast. I eat 3 times a day. That second meal after I lift is typically yogurt and a whey isolate mixed up with just a little bit of blueberries. And I try to do a very good job at like savoring that and sipping it slowly, basically, or spooning it in slowly. I could overeat on that too because it's like dessert. And then the last meal of the day, I've just been getting a nice piece of fish with a salad, olive oil, avocado, um, a little bit of like a Greek salad, which has like some olives in there with some feta, and that's good for me. Okay, so that's keeping it around 2,000 ish calories for me, and I'm trying to get to 1 gram of of protein per pound of body weight, maybe 1.1, 1.2, somewhere in there. The thing is here too is that when you track, you're going to find what works for you, plain and simple. So, what works for you? You start tracking, you're going to just feel better knowing what's working for you, knowing what's working for you. Okay. So, what you should be doing is really should be weighing your food as well when you track. I do have a scale. You can go by the half-pound measurements if you want, like half a cup and a teaspoon of this and that. I put everything on the scale. I go grams, you know, uh, and that just dials it in. If you got to know, just if you really want to know, just weigh your food. Just have a little scale there, a little digital scale. Put your bowl of food on it. Hit the tare. Start again at 0 and just start loading it in, and then just weigh everything by grams. Look at the serving size, weigh it by grams. I track the protein first. I'm not worried about fat, but I'm mindful of how much fat I'm eating. When I first got here to Cape Town, it was, oh man, bacon and eggs, cheese, don't matter. Let's just go keto. I'm just settling in, right? Now I'm having the fat. I can overeat on the fat now because I'm expecting to eat cheese and bacon and eggs, and then I'll have nuts and then the butter, all good stuff. I'm not saying it's going to kill you, but for me, I need to track the fat. 9 calories per gram. They say calories don't matter. Maybe they're not. Calories aren't everything, but again, it's information. And if you're having 9,000 calories, fat and protein calories a day, it's still 9,000 calories, dude. So that, as well as the tracking of my movement, I'm trying to get it anywhere about 10 to 15,000 steps. I know that's a big jump. That's what I'm going for. I go for a little walks and runs every day, fasted. I don't eat till around 10:30, 11. Okay, so that's what I do. So again, it's morning runs, morning stretches, more walking when I can walk, and I'm really not snacking. Okay, I can't snack, and you shouldn't be snacking either. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna name it. Okay, just try to keep it to, if you're gonna eat a meal, right? If you're gonna eat that meal, make it a high protein meal. Typically have a piece of meat. Or nuts if you want, if nuts work for you. I'm just saying, hey, nuts aren't the bad guy. I'm the bad guy in the situation. I can't stop eating nuts because I can't stop eating the salty deliciousness of those nuts. These nuts. Okay. The last point I'm going to be making here is this is the work of a person that's growing. Okay. Okay. We are strong men. Okay. And I want you to know that it's not a matter of more discipline and not about punishing yourself. It's just noticing, having that awareness, and then just aligning yourself like a grown ass man does. And you are a grown ass man. And it's tough out there. And when you're stressed, you probably like to eat something like I did. Okay. And still continue to. After a long day, you just feel like relaxing in front of the TV, your favorite show. Like, oh God, I want to reach for the cheesecake. I'll just have an extra shot of nuts for me. Just be mindful of what it is that you're doing, and then ask yourself. I have to ask myself, am I really hungry or am I stressed? Am I looking to let go? Like, woo, like yeah, we're having a party. I want to have whatever I want. Burped. I've been doing good. I want to eat whatever I want. Um, Note those things. Just note it. It's not about punishment. It's just about noticing what's happening with you. Okay. So this is the work of a marksman, someone who knows their aim and needs to dial it in. And this is the movement that I'm making, a movement of men that don't need more in their life. They just need alignment. You need more information. You just need to realize the information that you really already possess, the knowledge that it's already inside of you. Okay. So you don't even really need a new program. You just need to pay attention to what those four things when it comes to your metabolism: your food, your movement, your sleep, and your stress. That's the physical realm that we look into. And if you want to look a little bit deeper into what might be misaligned for you and you want to really get in yourself in alignment, you and I should just talk a simple one-on-one, a private conversation that's absolutely free to you. And we start looking at an entire system for you that builds alignment into your life. So you're working within your strengths. You're doing things that you want to do. You're moving in the direction of your values. You're going to start to paying attention. You start paying attention and noticing that life is really happening for you instead of to you. Now, if that is interesting to you and you're wanting to be more dialed in, hit the link in the description and let's just have a conversation. And again, I really wanted to talk to you about this. This was a big thing for me. And I know that you might be struggling out there with it here too. And you just think, am I eating a little bit more than I think? Maybe not. Maybe not. Pay attention to that nudge. Pay attention to when movement really quietly disappears, especially now that it's wintertime. Well, at least for you guys in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not bragging or anything. It'll be winter down here too. Okay. What is it that you're telling yourself that doesn't matter? Right? Stuff doesn't pop up in your head because it doesn't matter. Some part of that really matters to you. So again, a strong man doesn't wait until things fall apart. They just adjust when they start to feel themselves drift. I really want to appreciate you, and I do appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Questions for me, leave them in the chat. Let's continue this marksman movement in the community here. I want to know, how do you notice when you need to get back on track? What's the food that you're eating that you tend to overeat that is taking you off track? How do you get yourself back on? Help a brother out. Let us know. Appreciate you. I'll be talking to you real soon.